What would you do if you had more time and money in your data center? Would you finally do that hardware refresh you've been putting off forever? Would you hire some new employees? Would you take that money and add to your staff? Would you finally get back to that stack of to-dos that you've been putting off forever because you finally have some time and you don't have to worry about this anymore? I've been in IT sales for almost 20 years now. I've worked with hundreds of IT managers, directors, CIOs, and system admins. And I find that all of your struggles and your strategic objectives are kind of the same. Everyone struggles with a lot of these concepts in the data center, paying way too much cost with poor service. That's why in today's episode, you'll learn more about what's non-negotiable when making a decision on your hardware service provider to ensure you're making the right decision for your business. So there's OEM maintenance, right, which is the most common. It's maintenance provided by the original manufacturer of the equipment. These are typically higher costs. You've seen it. You've seen the sticker shock. You've paid the big prices. They're also very confusing and complex. So another option is third-party maintenance. It's an alternative to OEM support. Basically, in a nutshell, better, faster, cheaper. You can save 70% against your high OEM maintenance costs. We improve your service, and we give you a faster response rate. Most third-party companies provide real consulting, where we take a look at everything that you have and help you make educated decisions on what's best for your business. Most use a hybrid maintenance strategy, where you have a combination of OEM and TPM, and that's where the consulting comes in, where we can identify what equipment really needs to stay with the manufacturer. And there are certain cases where they're best suited to support that type of equipment. But there's also a lot of equipment that can move to a third-party maintenance provider where you can benefit from those savings and that improved service. And we can sit down with you, get a better feel for what's important to you and your company objectives, and give you an education on what the options are so that you can make an intelligent decision for your business. By taking a look at your asset list and your infrastructure and getting a better understanding of how you utilize this equipment, a good third-party maintenance provider can take a look at that and give you some feedback, looking at costs, looking at availability, and just sharing with you what other customers are doing, what your peers are doing, and what industry insights we see, and just guide you towards an educated decision on where you should keep your equipment, OEM or third party. There is an end of life, end of service life database where you can actually plug in make, model of equipment. It'll tell you when that equipment has gone end of support. When you're choosing a new maintenance provider, the biggest things you should look for is, do they prioritize responsiveness? Do they maximize your uptime, right? When you have an outage, it's critical. It affects so many people in your business. It can affect your customers. It can affect your business partners. So you want to make sure responsiveness and uptime are the number one things that they focus on. You're going to want to be able to access support services quickly throughout this process. Whether it be by the phone or online, you want someone to get back to you right away. And that should be a huge priority when you're making that decision. You definitely want to make sure they have multi-vendor support. You want to be able to merge different OEMs onto one agreement. Unless you're interested in having a Cisco-only agreement, we find customers really want to be able to put IBM, Cisco, EMC all in one agreement just for ease of use. I think the other thing you want is multi-platform support. You want them to be able to cover all the gear in your data center, which is server, storage, and networking. You definitely want someone that has a 24/7 call center with in-house support so that no matter what time that machine breaks, whether it's 2 a.m. on Christmas Day, you want to be able to call in and know that someone's going to take care of you. Read the fine print, right? You should never pay penalties or additional charges for adding or deleting equipment. It's your equipment. IT timelines change all the time. You should have that flexibility to be able to maneuver that equipment whenever you need without having to pay a big penalty because your needs have changed. I would always look for companies that provide W-2 engineers. You know, there are definitely companies that outsource the labor and they outsource the engineers, but I find that having a W-2 engineer provides you the right talent and the right acumen to get on site, fix your problem in a timely manner, and get you back about your day. Third-party maintenance providers tend to provide customizable and flexible options that you don't really see from the OEM. The OEM tends to give you a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all agreement. You should ask for the ability to customize your agreements, whether it be different terms, different lengths of time, different equipment in different locations, different billing options. At the end of the day, you're the customer. You should be able to choose how you want this agreement to look. I think when you're researching maintenance providers, there's some important criteria to check in terms of their credibility. Do they have a Gartner rating? Do they provide a published Net Promoter Score? Do they share with you their customer retention rating? If you do a Google search, do they come back with high reviews in terms of customer satisfaction and service? Just like you would for any product, you want to make sure that whoever you go with is credible and has a great reputation in the marketplace. Hey, thanks a lot for joining me. I really enjoy working with customers to give them an education on some of these complicated IT decisions. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on future In a Flash episodes. We'll see you next time.